Welcome to the Renovating Riches Radio podcast. And today we have a very special interview or announcement, if you will. I have my buddies and my friends here and JV partners, and we do a bunch of stuff together. Nelson, Elizabeth, and Charles Nguyen, who actually, if you've tuned into this podcast, they've been in our podcast before talking about their real estate businesses and their journey into real estate. I'm missing you, Nelson.
Yeah, we need to
do one about rehabbing and all that stuff, right? But today it's a very special day because we are announcing something big that's coming to the city of Houston or the state of Texas, and it's not only big, but it's going to be the best. Charles, let's just get down to the nitty-gritty. What's about to take place in Texas? What are we doing? What are you bringing here?
All right, so we're bringing the top investors in the country, top wholesalers in the country, October 4th through 6th here to Houston, and we're bringing them here to run an event where we're going to focus on basically scaling your wholesale business. Because one of the things I know you guys know I've been to a ton of real estate events. I've been to a lot this year, and one thing we kind of see all the time is a lot of events, they don't focus on how do you actually just at the core go scale your business. There are a couple of good ones out there, but definitely none of them have ever been done in Houston.
Right.
Every time y'all talk to me, it's like I'm flying somewhere. I'm either flying to Tampa, I'm flying to Phoenix, flying somewhere to go.
Well, we find each other in other cities.
Yes, actually, earlier this year we were in Phoenix, at an event.
So, strange way how the universe works, right?
Yes.
It puts you together in places that you never imagined.
Exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring them all, the best, out to Houston, and we're going to, for 3 days, it's just going to be pure content. Where there's going to be no pitching on stage, because I think we've all gone to events where it's constantly pitch, upsell you to some type of coaching program, some type of mastermind. But this one, it's just going to be pure value. We're going to again have some of the best folks out here, and the goal is to bring this community together, educate people on how to scale their business, because it can be a lonely business out there, especially if you don't know, have the right contacts, you don't have the right people, don't have the right knowledge. So we're going to try and bring that all together. And also, our big goal is to make it the best experience for investors.
Now, what will an attendee get out of the event? I know you talked about scaling, wholesaling, but content-wise, how are they going to benefit from this event, number one? Number two, what sort of information are they going to be able to take with them to go grow their business?
Okay, yeah, no, that's a good question. So what their attendees are going to get is there's very good investors coming in throughout the country.
Pretty much networking, number one.
Yep, networking, number one. The folks who are actually going to do the presentations, they are doing lots and lots of volume.
So what's the name of the event?
So the name of the event is WholeScaling.
WholeScaling.
WholeScaling Live.
Which is basically a fusion in between wholesaling and scaling put together. By the way, he's the one that came up with that name, and I think it's badass. Everybody thinks it's badass.
Yeah.
So make sure you go out and check out, what's the website?
WholeScalingLive.com to get your tickets.
WholeScalingLive.com to get the tickets. Check out, we're going to have there the speakers, which Elizabeth will touch up here in a minute. We're going to have the dates, October 4th through the 5th. By the way, we are at the Marriott Hotel, which Nelson will tell us a little bit more later on what's taking place, what we got, and all that. But going back to the original question, Charles, so the attendees are going to be networking with doers.
Yep, absolutely.
This is not wishy-washy people that came out of nowhere that they might tell you this is what they're doing, but they're really not doing it. We have vetted every single one of these speakers. Yep. And we know they're the real deal.
Yep.
So an average, would you say how many deals a month? It's an average in between the speakers,
Right. I could tell you what kind of volume. Every one of them kind of doing something a little different. So we've got some who are doing 40 deals a month and over 4 million in volume.
40
in revenue.
deals a month.
And then we got some that are doing 50 to 80 deals a month.
50 to 80 deals a month. So just think about this. If you are making right now an average assignment fee is probably 10 grand, and you're doing 80, that's an $800,000 revenue a month. So,
and they're still scaling.
And they want to push more, right?
Yes.
Like I can get to 100, right? So
absolutely.
Which is insane. I'm not there yet. I will be there at some point, hopefully very soon. But networking. So you're gonna rub shoulders with doers and people that are actually making it happen. Number two.
So number two, all of the people who are going to speak at the event, they're going to walk you through actually how they're doing their business.
They're going to open up their architecture, basically, and say, this is how I do this. And you guys out there listening or watching, you may be wondering, like, why are they doing this? Like, why are they going to tell me how they're running their business or giving me their secrets? And why would you tell them? Like, why would I do that?
So I categorize it the same way of why people ask me, why are you going to run this event? Right. Why do you run a meetup where you give away a bunch of value? Right. Why do you run a meetup where you give away a lot of content for free that other people charge a lot of money for?
Which, by the way, is called the Houston Real Deal. I love going there. I get value out of it every chance I get, and I try to add value as well. So you need to go look it up on meetup.com. It's called the Houston Real Deal. They do a great job. Charles and Ray. I think, how many people you got there? 7,000, 6,000, something like that?
Yeah, we got a huge number.
Yeah, it's a big number. So go check them out. But going back to your answer, Charles, and didn't mean to cut you off. I just wanted to bring out the Houston Real Deal.
I appreciate that.
You know, you're adding value. So why is that? Like,
so Ray, the way I always view it, and I always tell people about it, is I don't view other investors as competitors.
Yes.
I always view other investors as future potential JV partners. So right, the more you give back, you know, the more you'll eventually receive.
Law of abundance.
Yeah, law of abundance, and you know, kind of I know my nature, and also all the nature of you guys, as well as our speakers. They all have that go-giver mentality.
Yes.
And that's actually what we looked for when we looked at who we wanted to invite.
Core values.
Yeah, core values. It was, number one, are they a doer? Are they active in the industry? And number two, are they willing to give back?
Most of them are. I mean, all of them are.
All
actually,
of them are.
not most of them, but all of them are. They're actually, for the most part, they're taking care of themselves to get here.
Yeah, they're all.
And they cannot. We have some videos that we'll be putting out pretty soon on their message, you know, to the audience on why they're coming here and all that. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So you want to network, you want to come here to network, meet the doers, and because, you know, for the most part, if you're in Houston, and I speak in Houston because we're all in Houston, right? They see us all the time. So it's the same faces, right? Ricardo, Elizabeth, the so on, so on. Okay, it's the same guy. So for the local people here, it's easy access to us. But for most of the people that are coming, it's hard to get a hold of them because they're coming from Florida, California, Arizona, DC. So they're flying from all over the country just to provide all this value. Touching on that, jumping onto Elizabeth, can you tell us who's coming?
Oh, yes. Well, when we decided to join forces and make this happen, the WholeScaling Live event, which is just a phenomenal idea, synergy of ideas and good vibes between all of us as a team, we thought, who are the biggest names in the industry that align with our core values, like Charles and Ricardo said, but also are action takers, the biggest action takers and go-givers, because those things go hand in hand. I know most of these speakers personally. Some are my mentors, some are also my friends, and they're all just amazing human beings. They believe in the power of giving back. They have that abundance mentality where they share the secrets of their success and their business, and they don't hold back. They just share it because that's in their nature. And with that being said, well, the biggest headliner we have, and I have to let Charles say the name because that was Charles' labor of love right there.
Wow. So when we first got involved in kind of doing this, I basically said the first person that I want to give a call to is Rafael Vargas, all right? Wholesaler out of Tampa, Florida. He's my mentor as well. I said he's just got to be the first call, and we'll see if it works in his schedule. And thank goodness it does work in his schedule. I mean, he's doing over 40 deals a month and over $4 million in revenue, and he is an absolute go-giver. Because I've hung out with him personally myself a lot over the last 2 months.
And that tells you a lot about the abundance mentality that you have, because you're bringing somebody that you consider your mentor into now the rest of the people. That way they can feed off that same energy that you fed off, or that you're still feeding off, because I know you're going back and forth to Tampa a lot to learn from him.
Yeah.
Definitely you need to go check out Rafael Vargas. If you don't know who he is,
check him out.
Check him out.
I think all three of these folks here, and most of the people I've talked to in Houston, most of the time I'm just like, yeah, you get a chance to see Raphael, you should just go. Just go.
Yep.
So not only we are going to be able to see it, but we're bringing it to Texas. So
absolutely.
So he's coming here. So who else is coming? Elizabeth.
So the next gentleman that I already had him lined up in my mind, and we had already discussed. We're gonna do a big event in Houston. I didn't know when or how, but I had a vision that there was going to be a big event happening. This is before we joined forces and we discussed, and we just decided to run with it. One of my favorite people in real estate investing, based out of Phoenix, Arizona, Steve Trang with Real Estate Disruptors. Absolute, and actually I have his notebook with me right here. I carry it with me everywhere I go. Steve Trang, he's a mentor as well and a friend of mine, and I highly respect him, and he's just an amazing human being. You should go check out his podcast, Real Estate Disruptors. It's just amazing, and Charles will be there featured very soon. I was there on his podcast the end of March, and so you can always go back and check that. I was also able to do a Spanish podcast in his channel, so check that out too. But yeah, Steve Trang, amazing. We have Jamie Burleson Wooley from Dallas, Texas. She did, I think, her first year in real estate. She did 13 deals, and then she jumped up to 100 deals a year, and now she's aiming to do more. So she's an action taker, phenomenal lady, human being. We have Pace, Jordan Morby from Phoenix, Arizona as well. He was one of the top 3 wholesalers in the country for a franchise, which we will not mention because he's now branched out on his own. Tremendous human being, major go-giver, and really cares for people. And I love that he's joining us as well. Another heavy hitter, Jamil Danji with Keegley, amazing human being as well.
What do they say about Keegley? All roads lead to Keegley.
All roads lead to Keegley.
All roads lead to Keegley. So if you don't know what Keegley is, you need to go look it up. These guys are big.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they're doing 80 deals a month,
Yep.
which is an insane number. Anyways, Jamil.
And he's bringing good news to Houston too.
Yes, he's bringing something amazing to Houston. So you have to come and hear what the news is. Unless if you're not here at the event, you're not gonna know. You're gonna find out later. You want to jump in on that. Yeah, it'll be too late by the time you hear it after the event. We're also bringing in Brayand, Ponciano, BP, which most of them know him. He is the cash flow creator from Phoenix, Arizona as well. Tremendous human being. He's been in real estate for quite some time, and he's also a millionaire mindset mentor and does a lot of motivation for people that are entrepreneurs. We will also have Kris Ontiveros, also from Phoenix, Arizona. He's Cash Flow Kris, and he and BP have the Arizona Flip Guys, their own podcast as well, every Friday. What else do we have in here that I haven't mentioned?
List is long, man.
It's a long list.
Just gets
Sorry,
better.
guys. Yeah. I'm sorry. So we have Nicole Espinosa, the short sale queen. She's nationwide, your short sale specialist. She's out of Dallas, Texas. However, she's expanded to other cities as well. You can find her on a couple of podcasts as well. We have Daniel Chad Moore, the king of Propelio himself. He is, if you don't know who Daniel Chad Moore is, just look him up. Go to Propelio's podcast on YouTube. He talks everything and anything you need to know, from beginner to intermediate to advanced levels of wholesaling, and he is the master of wholesaling in the sense that he likes to talk to people that are starting new. A couple of our teammates were telling me last night that the first person that they spoke to in the industry was Daniel Chad Moore, that he took out time from his busy schedule to help them analyze a deal to see if it really was a deal. It was their very first deal.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I didn't know this. So Daniel always, you say his name and someone always has a story about what a humble man he is and how giving he is to the community. So he'll definitely be here with us. We have a rising star, Antwon Campbell from DC. He is running a VA operation, which is tremendous and just so big. So it's such a treat to have him. He's only been in the industry 2 years, and he's going to share how he was able to jump hurdles and overcome obstacles within just 2 years of being in the industry and running a really large VA operation. We also have Don Costa. Tell us about Don Costa.
Man, that's the original gangster.
Yes.
OG.
He's an OG, man. I mean, this guy, he's got a great podcast, by the way, the Flip Talk podcast. He's actually a rehabber as well, and I see myself doing a lot of the things or the path that he's gone through, because he's gravitating towards wholesaling a lot now, because he's flips at a scale, and wholesaling at a scale, it's an operation on its own, but flipping, it's more complicated because there's more contractors, there's more people involved. So Don Costa is going to come from San Diego, California, to, tell you how he does it, pretty much. Like, how can he manage that many projects? I think the last I heard, he had 63 projects going on right now.
63, wow.
Yeah, 63.
Wow.
But it's a combination in between wholesaling, flipping.
Yeah.
I don't know what else, because he's probably, like me, I mean, between a bunch of different things running around like a chicken with my head cut off or something like that, right? So I would love to see how he's able to scale that business to where he's at today. And he's also a very caregiver, so he loves to train other people. He has a podcast. You gotta go check it out. This thing, he puts out so much good content out there. It's giving without expecting anything in return is the way I see it. So shout out to Don Costa, who's gonna be here with us October 4, 5, and 6. Who else we got, Elizabeth?
We have Anny Draginova as well. Just a phenomenal young lady from Phoenix, Arizona. She is with Higher Offer and also Batch Skip Tracing. And hey, if you're in the industry, you have to know Batch Skip Tracing. They're an amazing company, and she is I believe the CFO and the CEO of interchangeably of both companies. So she's also doing quite phenomenally, and she's going to teach us about day-to-day data and just how to run your lists and just a lot of information.
Which is one of the most important pieces to the puzzle is the data. So what do you market to, right?
Right.
So that's the first thing. That's what you start with.
Right.
So without data, you're not marketing to anything.
Absolutely.
So, so she's going to talk about that and owning or being a CFO on batch skip tracing. She might know a thing or two about data. So you definitely want to be here for that.
She is the queen of data. That's the way, if you see her shirts from batch skip tracing, she says data is the queen, but she's actually the queen of data. Yeah. So, actually, I wanted to mention this. I forgot to say this at the very beginning. We were looking to address all the issues that wholesalers are having in their businesses. And we talked about how dispo is such a big key, could be a key issue. Also, lead generation. People are like, where do I get leads? How do I generate leads? All the issues that you are having in your wholesaling business are going to be addressed at this event. And not last but not least, we have Nick Perry. Charles, tell us a little bit about Nick Perry.
Okay. So Nick Perry, he's an absolute beast. He's out of Austin, Texas.
He's a stud, dude. I met him a couple of weeks ago. I like the guy from the get-go.
Yeah, he's great.
A great guy. He lives in Austin, Texas, but doesn't do any deals in Austin, Texas. So he virtually wholesales all across the nation.
Wow.
And when I say all across the nation, I mean all across the nation.
Yeah, I saw a post from him yesterday wholesaling something in Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I think an 18 unit in Scranton, Pennsylvania.
And I was like, oh.
Yeah, and then the next day you'll see him post something in some little area in Mississippi.
Yep.
So he's doing, I think, in the neighborhood of probably 20 deals a month.
Yep.
And again, doing it virtually. So
which is
across the
like,
nation.
I'm still very involved on going on appointments, creating that rapport with the seller, in front, face to face. It's a paradigm shift for most of us that are going through that model, listening from somebody that it's on the phone, computer, and how do I lock up houses 3,000 miles away, 1,500 miles away, haven't even seen the property. Right. Relying on systems that he's got in place. So I'm assuming he's going to talk about systems and teams and those kind of things.
So
right?
He's actually, I asked him to talk a little bit more on team building.
Okay.
Because his last corporate job, he actually worked for Indeed.com.
Okay.
So he is all about, I've tapped his brain very recently as well about how to hire, how to find people.
Right.
So having worked at Indeed.com, then he's told me kind of the little tricks and tips on how to get more effectively leads in for who you might be able to hire.
Okay.
As well as he's got his hiring process down pat because he's in massive scale.
Yeah, and he told me his team is 14 people right now or so. So that's pretty impressive. When you have a large team like that.
Yeah.
So you definitely, if you want to grow your team, you definitely want to be here for that.
Yeah, and that's a big hurdle that a lot of people in this business have. It's just how do we scale, how do we grow our team to that way I'm not in so much in the day-to-day operation of my business.
Right.
And that's key, the onboarding process, hiring. All these crucial components that make your company either succeed or stay stagnant or maybe fail. We are going to address all those issues on this jam-packed weekend of amazing information, just phenomenal speakers back to back. So you definitely have to make it out. October 4, 5, and 6, we're waiting for you to come to Houston, and hopefully we'll be able to make it out to a city near you.
Which, by the way, it brings the subject of, if you're a new guy looking into learn how to wholesale, you definitely want to be here, but you got to have an open mind, because we're not going to be talking maybe about what is wholesaling or how do you fill out the contract.
Not baby steps.
Right.
This is really intermediate and advanced. And the reason I say this advanced is because I consider all three of us to be advanced, but we're going to be taking notes. Literally,
yes.
I know that we're going to be busy running the event itself, and we might not be in front of the stage participating and listening to the speakers, but I know we're gonna have to somehow watch that rerun because I know that my business is gonna transform so much that I'm not gonna wanna miss a single minute from any of the speakers, because these are all guys that are masters at their craft in what they do in many different areas. And not all their businesses look the same. They're completely, one guy is great at acquisitions, the other guy is great at dispositions, and they might be working together. You never know that, right? So, definitely be here for that. Nelson, what can you tell us about the venue?
Well, continue with our vision, which is obviously to make this the best event.
Yes.
We had to get the best venue for our programming. So we are here at the Woodlands Waterway Convention Center, and this is where the event's going to be held. We chose the Woodlands because obviously it has many attractions, not only the venue itself, but we have a lot of great locations just walking distance from from this location that can cater to our guests, our speakers, and our attendees. So in this location, once again, it's the biggest convention center here in the Woodlands, and we are definitely close to the airport. Everybody who's traveling from outside of Houston, we are pretty much 20 minutes away from the airport. So it's really close to the airport, and the venue itself will provide you with anything that you need. We have all the attractions possible, hotels,
Yeah, we have
restaurants,
hotels, bars, clubs.
anything close
you
by.
know.
Yeah, definitely, walking distance.
So thank you so much, by the way, for picking. This is a beautiful place.
Very nice.
We're standing right at the lobby, so back there is where you check in, and back there is where you actually go out to go to the restaurants and go through that little river they got back there. We're gonna have it's a big crowd. We're expecting.
Yeah, we're expecting at least 1,000 people.
At least 1,000 people. You definitely want to be on the VIP list. I think that's the one that's gonna, actually the premier. The premier list is the one that's gonna fly out the quickest. We only have, I think it's 100 seats for the premier. Charles, can you tell us just a little bit on what premiers will get?
So I mean, the premiers, right? I mean, they're gonna obviously get meet and greets with our speakers, which is going to be worth its while already.
Yep.
Get the best seating right up front. And the other thing which we're kind of super excited about is there's going to be a top secret off-site party.
Yes.
That we're going to have.
And when we say top secret, is like the speakers don't know where it's going to be. The premiers don't know where it's going to be.
So,
We still don't know.
We
don't
don't
even
even
know
know.
where it's
We don't even know where it's gonna be, but it's gonna be something.
But it's gonna be
the best.
secret.
but I can tell you, we've got the best person taking care of that.
Yes.
Yes.
Someone who's kind of taking care of a lot of, let's just call them parties in the
Yes.
past, in his
Right.
past life.
Yes.
So yeah, I mean, that's just going to be pretty epic. So for that event, people are just going to get on the bus, and it'll just take us to wherever it's going to take us.
That's right. So make sure you get that premier ticket fast because that's one thing you don't want to miss. We're going to have some lunches and things of that nature for networking purposes. We want to make sure the best of the best are hanging around each other and together and networking and doing stuff together. This is not the event where we're trying to prevent people from talking to each other and not exchanging business cards.
Right.
No, we want you to come here and start working with other people.
Right.
That's
And speaking of that, Nelson has something else that you're preparing here at the event. What else are we going to see here in the venue that's something huge and also the best?
Well, obviously, we're going to have the best vendors here that are going to be
yes.
able to provide all the tools, essential tools that any wholesaler, investor, flipper, that you need to have those contacts. You need to have those tools and on your side to be able to do what we want to do, which is provide you guys with a way of scaling your business.
So, what's the name of the event again, Charles?
WholeScaling Live.
WholeScaling Live. You definitely want to go check out the website. It's up and running already, so go click, get your ticket, and we are looking forward to have you here at the Convention Center of the Marriott in the Woodlands, October 4, 5, and 6. Block those dates. You might want to come here maybe a day earlier and leave a day later, okay?
Right.
So you can take benefit of the crowd that we're gonna have here, a bunch of doers and go-getters. Shout out to our team who's doing a great effort on putting this massive thing that we're putting together. I mean, they're doing a great job. They hit the ground running, and
Right.
From day one.
So everybody's putting their 2 cents, and we couldn't be more proud of the people that we have on board right now.
Yes, and I want to speak also to the ladies that are listening to us. Ladies, come on out. Come join us. Be part of the revolution. Be part of our team. Be part of this amazing event. This event is also for you. We didn't forget about us women and how important it is to see power women in the forefront. We have with Jamie and with Anny and Nicole, amazing women in the industry, and myself, and I'm just here to help make this happen. But yeah, come and join us. We need more of you ladies out here in the forefront. We need you to come and help us dominate this industry too.
Yes.
Because we're really good negotiators, and we're multifaceted, and we are able to take this to another level. So hope to see you there.
WholeScaling Live, go check it out. Don't forget to hit share, like, and subscribe on our YouTube channel, Renovating Riches Radio. Don't forget to check out Houston Real Deal Meetup. Also, the event in Katy under Cashflow Marketing, which is our basically marketing company. So just go ahead and make this thing viral. Tell everybody about it. Your grandma, your grandpa, your uncle, your friend, broke
everyone.
That's, friend
Anyone
that's broke that wants to get rich. This is the room they want to be at if they want to make something out of their lives, okay?
Also, look for us on Facebook and Instagram at WholeScaling, and follow our stories, #WholeScaling. You'll be able to see our team posting about things that we're doing in this journey throughout as we prepare to go live on October 4, 5, and 6. So don't forget to follow us.
Looking forward to have you here, guys. If you come here and you see one of us, just don't be afraid. Come in, shake our hands.
Say hi.
Just come say hi. Love
Bring
to meet
business
you.
cards. We want you to be successful in your business. That's what we're putting this together for. So, with that being said, you'll have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye.